Hello and welcome back to the Integrity Project podcast. I'm your host, Roy Cochiolo, and today we're going to be talking about integrity.
All right, let's talk about those 4 pillars that you say that exist.
Yes, the 4 pillars of integrity. So I'll just break them down right now, and then we'll go through them one by one. First pillar is responsibility. Be able to take full responsibility for all your actions. 2 is communication. Learn how to clearly communicate. 3, trust. Recreating the trust that you've broken. And 4, presence, to have the ability to be fully engaged with everybody in your life.
All right. What's the first one that you said?
Responsibility.
What does that mean? Because it could be interpreted into a lot of different ways.
I believe I actually have, this is what I do.
Perfect.
Okay. And just being super humble here, I can't remember everything that I write or things that I want to talk about, so I do have notes here. So just let you know it's important to be accurate. So let's talk about responsibility. So we wanted to make sure that when we define words or we use words, we're all on the same page. So your definition of responsibility might be a little bit different than mine, but let's take this from just one perspective. So responsibility is not just about being accountable to others, but it's also being accountable to yourself. And let's take a moment to truly understand what responsibility means. So the meaning of responsibility is life is not happening to you. Life is happening for you, or if you want to take it one step deeper, life is happening because of you. You are the cause. You are the creator of your reality. You're not experiencing the world and how it truly is. You're experiencing the world based on how you are. So now that we have this definition of responsibility, what the important part is basically taking responsibility for everything that happens in your life. What does that mean? Responsibility. Now, I'm not talking about blame. I'm not talking about shame. I'm just talking about understanding that everything that you're involved in, you have a part in it. Life is happening because of you. You are where you are because you are the sum of all your choices. So does that mean that if my spouse has an affair on me, do I take responsibility for that? Yes, you take responsibility for your part in that and how you caused it. If that means I got fired from my job, yes, you take responsibility for that. If I get into a car accident, even though it's not my fault, yes, I take responsibility. Not taking blame, just the responsibility for the part, no matter how small it is, you have to take responsibility.
That is exactly what people don't do.
People are afraid to take responsibility because they look at things as right and wrong. Oh, you know what? If I take responsibility for that, that means I'm wrong. Listen, everyone's got to take responsibility for their part. Like I said, it's not about taking the blame. It's taking responsibility for your part in that experience. You can't look at, oh, she's right, I'm wrong, I'm blaming her, she's blaming me. No. And the reason why you want to do that is it takes away the power from your victimhood, that you don't have the ability to change your life, that you don't have the power to direct your life in the way you want to. But when you take full responsibility, then it's all of a sudden, something clicks in your mind saying that means that I have the ability to affect my reality. I'm no longer a victim. I have the power to create anything that I want. And that is the reason why. It's about empowerment of who you are. So that was number 1. Number 2, so I don't forget, is communication. And the reason why this is very important is when you take responsibility, you need to come clean for your part, which means that when you want to communicate to somebody, we want to apologize. But there's a big difference between, we all know this, I'm sorry, but. How many of us hear that? I'm sorry, but you don't realize you made me do it. Or I'm sorry, but, I was drunk. Or I'm sorry, but it's Friday. Or I'm sorry, but I was with my friends. Whatever it is. That's not what you have to do. When you communicate with somebody, you have to come from a truthful, authentic place. So it's about communicating the fact that honey or mom or dad or whoever you're speaking to, I did this knowing the fact that it would hurt you. I don't know why I did that, but I knew it was going to hurt you and I thought I could get away with it and I can't. And I showed up in a way that I'm not proud of, in a way that was a wounded, scared little boy. For whatever reason that is, I knew it was going to hurt you and I did it anyway. And I want to say that I never want that to happen again. And I hope one day you'll forgive me.
So we have to eliminate the but. We have to be, how does the saying go? Unapologetically apologizing or something like that, where you have to apologize without the but.
We call apology with purpose. Your purpose for the apology is not to make them feel better. It's not to make you feel better, I should say. It's unburdening them of their inability to, it's unburdening them from the inability to trust their own instincts. When you come clean with somebody and you tell them the truth of it, they begin to trust their own instincts. They unburden themselves and saying, okay, I knew something was wrong and I'm glad that you came to me with it. And I think that a lot of times what happens with truth is people think, actually, I'm going to ask you guys this question. I'm going to ask Stefano, my producer here. Would you, when you hurt somebody, would you rather tell them the truth or tell them something that makes them feel better?
Do you want the show answer or the real answer?
I always want the real answer. Like at the end of the day here, if you hurt somebody, would you rather tell them the truth or something that makes them feel better?
9 times out of 10, I would tell them something that makes them feel better. That's just, it depends on the seriousness, depends on the situation. Now, obviously, no single situation is the same. Sometimes the truth can hurt more than putting a temporary Band-Aid on it.
Okay. That's very good. Second question I have for you is, if somebody hurts you,
yes,
would you rather them tell you the truth?
The truth.
So why do you treat them differently?
Exactly.
Right? And the problem is when you communicate these things and you lie, you're robbing them of the lesson in that experience and robbing yourself. And what gives you the right to lead them down a path that they may not want to go down to?
That you don't want to be put on.
Right.
Of course.
Right. So, a lot of times when I was going through my stuff with my wife, I would tell her half truths to make her feel better. And I blindfold her and lead her down the path where, because I want to control the outcome. You have to let go of that. You have to let go and have faith that things will just work out the way they're meant to be. And that's why it's so hard for people to communicate the truth, is because they want to control the outcome. I let go of the fact that when I told the truth, I know that she had 2 choices. 1, she goes on her way. And I can't control that. 2, they choose to forgive me, understand, and move forward together. And sometimes their first reaction is to run. We all have that. And part of communication is the fact that you don't longer run from those things. You actually face them. And it's hard. Number 3, creating trust. Building and maintaining trust. And I know for a fact, when we betray somebody, our trust goes from 100, and only takes 1 to 0. The question is, how do I rebuild that trust? How do I become a trustworthy person to going back to where it is? And you know what? The truth of it is, you may not even get all the way there. And that's okay. But every day, you have to begin to show up. You have to do the things that you did not want to do, being truthful, creating the energy that you need to be with that person, to reconnect with them, to show up as a person that you promised them to be. If I say to you, I promise to be faithful, truthful, good, wholehearted, pure, empathetic, and I show up all the other things, they're never going to trust me. But if I show up day in and day out as the same person that I promised that I was going to show up every day as that masculine leader, as that person that's going to get you through everything, and I show up every day, you have no choice but to trust me. That trust begins to grow slowly but surely. And sometimes you may do something you think might break her trust or might break that person, but you go and you do that immediately, clean that up. You address it. Look, I know I fucked up. I know this is not the place I'm being. I slipped, but it's not the person I am. I'm going to continue to working. All right, you go backwards a little bit, but you'll still continue to build that trust day in, day out, being transparent, being the person you want to, open-hearted.
So you've eliminated the making her feel better and implemented more, let's deal with the truth so we can both feel better together.
Yes. And the thing is, too, sometimes the truth doesn't make her feel better, but it makes her feel like she can trust me because I told the truth. It might, listen, there's things people are going to do that you're not going to like, right? You're finding your kid was smoking weed with his friends. You're not going to like that. But if you go out and you reprimand him and tell him what a dirty things and da-da-da-da, well, they can't trust they can come with you. If they want to come with your dad, like, I'm really sorry, but I was smoking weed with my friends. I just wanted to try it. And you may say, son, like, I understand. We all have done it. There's nothing in my kids' lives that they tell me that will surprise me, except maybe murder and robbing a bank. So at the end, to create that trust, you have to show up as a person who's trustworthy. Do the things that are trustworthy people, which means telling the truth, not hiding stuff, not hiding behind your mask. Not if I feel defeated today and I feel tired, I have two choices. I come home and pretend that everything's okay. Don't worry, honey. You know what? The stock market went down 100%, lost all our money. Like coming in and having also the trust that they can accept you the way you are right now is freeing. When you have that trust in people that, you know what? They truly love me unconditionally. They truly respect me unconditionally. They truly care about who I am. And telling that truth and showing up that way will build trust.
And then there's the magical number 4. And
Presence.
this is my favorite.
Presence.
Now, what is that? Presents as in gifts, right?
Yes, of course. Being fully present.
Okay.
And that's also comes into being trustworthy as well. Like I was terrible at this and I'm still not an expert at being present. We all have our little escapes in our mind and you get the little kite that goes up and you know, people talk and all of a sudden they say a word and your life's somewhere else. Or let's put it this way. When my kids were in dance, I'm self-employed my whole life. And I always tell my clients the most important things. So I was always on my phone, taking phone calls, text messages, emails. They were watching them dance. I didn't even pay attention half the time. If you told me what songs they were doing, I probably wouldn't even know. And if I can give anybody any piece of advice as a parent with small children, put your phone away. Put everything away. You have these few precious years when they're little where you can make a true impact on them by being fully present. Because when you're present to somebody, it's a great gift because you make them feel seen, you make them feel heard, you make them feel loved, you make them feel appreciated. Because if I was here and you're telling me to do a podcast, there's no meaning behind it. Yes, you're there physically, but are you emotionally, spiritually, mentally
there you go,
fully present? Heart online, cheering them on.
But that would come through podcasting. See, that's the thing. You can't fake that. If you're not here present, everyone would notice, but you're very present into this discussion.
And listen, I'm not saying I don't show sometimes, like, you know what? Leanne will be having a conversation with Taylor and I'll be jumping on my phone for some retarded reason or another. I would probably check an email and then I end up skipping through Instagram, see how many likes I got on something. And then all of a sudden I'm down a rabbit hole and then she'll call me out. Hey, or call me for it. Not call me out. She calls me, hey, are you here? I'm like, yes, I am. Because I trust her to call me forward when when I'm not fully present. Take a moment, and if anybody has a little exercise they want to do, go sit in the middle. You know, it doesn't mean necessary forest, but go sit somewhere where there's lots of trees. Sit your bum down on the ground, put your back against a tree, close your eyes, and just be present to everything around you. The sounds, the smell, the feel of the earth. Then you'll start noticing that your heartbeat, the blood flowing through your veins. And you notice that when you're fully present, you're fully alive. And you have everything that you ever need. Problem with not being present is we're always thinking about the future or being wounded of our past. And we miss the gift of right here, right now. This one thing that you have a chance to fully experience with all of you. And you try that and tell me it doesn't make you feel fantastic. It doesn't make you feel like you're actually alive. You're not pulled in the anxiety of the future, of the unknown, and you're not pulled about the depression of the things that you do in the past, but you have this moment.
It's goosebumps. You're giving me those goosebumps. I love being the producer of this podcast.
Oh, thank you. I like you being my producer. Hey, and thank you for watching this episode of The Integrity Project. Again, integrity and the 4 pillars are responsibility, communication, trust, and being fully present for everything that you do in your life. Until our next episode at The Integrity Project, thanks for watching.